Well, looks like I'm losing viewership again. I guess it's time to glaze salmonella once more. In case you're out of the loop or somehow new viewer to my channel, Salmonella is an informational channel who's well known for his really cute, crude humor and his stick figure animations. His videos are really funny. I've been glazing the guy for 2 years straight now. You get the gist. I don't have to go over this that deep. But either way, something I have not talked about on his channel, but has recently just drove me mad, is the amount of clones that he has. People who just take his stuff, don't change it, and basically do what he does, but without nothing different to it except just being worse. This has been a problem for years, ever since he went on his hiatus in 2020. Some people tried to fill the void. It wasn't worth it. And then after he came back, people realized that a lot of people like the guy and they're trying to copy his style. But it's just really lazy content, in my opinion. And no matter how many times I hit the I do not want to see this channel button, they keep coming back. They're like a cockroach. So I thought it would be fun if I ranked all of these. There's 17 of them that I could find. And I'm just going to rank all of them by how horrible they are. Let's begin. Luckily, a clone channel of himself, I think it's Stoic Stick, has 15 of them. And there's 2 others that I wanted to add on. One being a channel that I actually liked and another one just being a weird one-off one that I think might even be deleted. I haven't checked yet. But either way, with all that said, let's begin. You start coming off hot on the gate with Stoic Stick. This guy isn't terrible, but he is just so painful to watch. The closest thing I can describe him to is modern day grade A under A, which since I'll probably never talk about grade A ever anytime else on this channel, the guy made funny content a couple years ago. And then I think he just went crazy, and now his videos are just rage bait, and that's it. So yeah, moving on to Stoic Stick. Stoic Stick is a British channel that copied Sam after he returned. So this wasn't made out of desperation for new content. He decided to do it himself. And honestly, my main gripe about it is, one, it's just not funny. For example, in the average salmonella video, in fact, I don't even want to give an example. I'm just going to say this as fact. In a Q&A Sam did back in 2017, he said that he was planning on making a video about old logos to companies, but he decided not to do it because the joke would be really simple. Just, haha, look at the logo. And this guy doesn't take from this advice. His whole joke in the video is, in his conspiracy theory video, he's ha, funny Kanye guy thinks Twixes are big, ha. That ain't a clever joke. It's just lazily written. His whole channel is just meant to copy Sam, but with nothing really inspired. He's just trying to pull views and subscribers and get a big number, which this is the first channel we've watched out of these. We got 16 to go. And I have a very strange suspicion that this is going to become a common thing. Stoic Stick is getting a 5 out of 10. Painfully mediocre. Sigmund Oppenbaum is not only probably the first channel like this, he's also a lot better than Stoic Stick. I don't know if my expectations were real low after watching Stoic Stick, but Sigmund Oppenbaum is not bad at all. Like I said, he was probably one of the first one of these. He created his channel in October of 2021, which is still when Sam was gone. He had been gone for about a year and a half at this point, and some people were figuring somebody had to fill his shoes, and Sigmund was the first person I know of to step up and do it. Sigmund's videos are in the style of Salmonella's, and I mean the art style, but literally everything else is different. The writing is more absurd than crude. Not to say Sam's channel is like, not absurd, or does not have absurdist comedy. It does, but Sigmund somehow finds a way to crank the absurdity up to 10. His videos are also a little bit more professional than Sam's, which I don't actually mind at all. They're pretty good. I actually watched a few more than I probably should have. Like, for Stoic Stick, I only watched 2 videos, and, like, I hated it. I watched, like, 4 videos of his. They're not bad. He seems to have quit his channel, sadly. But, yeah, Sigmund Oppenbaum is not terrible. Giving his channel a 7 out of 10, which means he's at the top, and probably going to be the best one overall. Just saying that. Jake Farm is a parody of Salmonella, and I love it. Jake Farm is one of the earliest ones, too. He started off being a channel called Salmonella Shorts, who's probably best well known because Sam actually found out about it, said it was a fraud, and he quit it and made Jake Farm instead. In case you're wondering what was on the Salmonella Shorts channel, it was just, like, shorts from his videos. That was it. Please comment if you remember that. He deleted all of that, sadly. Either way, Jake Farm is actually not terrible, either. It seems like a parody of Sam. It's just more absurd, more just strange. Seems like he's actually in on the joke and self-aware that what he's doing is pretty lazy, which makes it a little bit more funny. My only problem is I just don't really like learn anything from it. He makes the learning bit boring, but the points where he is very self-aware on it make it very funny. Like, instead of Sam, who stands in like a white background, Jake Farm's background is a cardboard box in an alleyway. That's what I'm talking about here. Either way, that's really all I gotta say. Jake Farm is, yet again, another solid channel. 7 out of 10. These were the channels I was very worried about seeing when I started this video. Animated Lifelines is the worst one so far. Animated Lifelines is a new channel to this. He came after Sam already returned, and I haven't brought it up yet, but unlike the past 3, which were made while Sam was on hiatus, and I kind of understand because they meant to fill his shoes, these are just realizing, hey, Sam is really popular. Let me take exactly what he's doing, don't change anything, put in half the effort, and label it as something different. And that is this type of content, or this channel, really. There's 3 major gripes with this channel, in my opinion. One, it's just lazy. It wasn't really thrown together. There's no passion thrown into it at all. 2, the art is just horrible. I am very much aware Sam does not have good art at all. Like, his stick figures are simple as it gets, but his backgrounds are amazing. The animation that he randomly does at times is really good too. That's the joke. The joke is the random jump in quality. You know what? Well, why even care? If he can't even, like, do this, well, why should I care? No more, like, pictures or anything for the rest of this. Forget it. And other thing, he uses, like, AI to write his scripts. Like, actually, I think he said that once. He doesn't make his own stuff. He could care less. He's just making a cash grab on Sam's content. He ain't adding anything to the table. The whole point is to just get views, get a big number, like I said about Stoic Stick. But this is much worse than Stoic Stick. This is horrible. I'm reporting it for spam. Worst one so far, 2 out of 10. Chat history is okay. I wouldn't call him a clone of Sam at all. He's another one that I would say is inspired by Sam. I recorded the Animated Lifelines one, like, once and then deleted it. So I don't know if I said it back then and I'm too tired to re-listen to it. But there's a difference between taking something and being inspired by it. For example, Animated Lifelines was not inspired by Sam. He just took what he did. Chat history, on the other hand, doesn't. He's quite different. He has a different editing style. how he animates stuff is different. His humor is a lot more dry than Sam's. It's a different viewing experience. Now, he is definitely influenced by Sam, but he took it and put his own twist on it, which in my opinion does not make him a clone, and I think this is perfectly acceptable. Not really my cup of tea, but he doesn't deserve to be labeled as a clone. Just change your thumbnails, man. It makes it look like you are a clone. You're a much better channel, to be honest. In fact, I might subscribe to this guy. Chat history's getting an 8. Not bad at all. Serious History is probably yet another channel that just uses AI scripts, except I kind of like it just a tad bit better than Animated Lifelines, because they do sprinkle in their own jokes occasionally. And when I mean occasionally, I mean very, very occasionally. Like, I watched his top 10 worst years in history video, and there's only like 2 what you could call jokes. He clearly very much uses a script written by artificial intelligence, and it shows, which makes him a very bad channel. Not as bad as Animated Lifelines, because his animation doesn't make me want to bash my head in the wall. So, I guess that's a pro. But still, he's a 3 out of 10 channel. I do not care to see a single thing from him again. I'm sorry this review is very, very short compared to the other ones. But, like, literally copy and paste everything I said about Animated Lifelines, and you'd have this. Bolo Ackerman is again another new channel. I know I haven't said that for the past couple segments, but all of the last couple channels are new channels made after Sam came back, as well as this one. And he just covers the same stuff that every Salmonella clone talks about. He even recycles some of Sam's stuff too. This is what I was worried about when I started this video, stuff like this. I can say something for all the other clones I've talked about. They don't literally reuse the same stuff Sam has. Half of all this guy's videos are stuff that Sam has already recorded. And Sam is funny. This guy isn't. I don't think he uses AI to write his stuff. Bolo Ackerman is what I'm talking about. But it sure does sound like it in some videos. Really, all I gotta say, Bolo Ackerman's like a 4 out of 10 channel, putting it below Stoic Stick. Gustav's show is yet another Salmonella knockoff that came after he returned. I want to keep that in mind because I don't think I've brung it up at all. Because, as I said earlier, a lot of people make clone channels to try and, like, fill his shoes. But that is a very, very little number of people that we're talking about today. The large majority of people are like this, who just made channels like a year or 2 ago, and are just stealing his idea, really, without changing much. And that's really Gustav's show, really. His animation is bad. I think I've put some on the screen, or should have. Just bad to look at. It's an eyesore. His videos are boring and not funny. They're lazily written. They're just not good videos. I'd rather watch a Salmonella video. Which, by the way, a little behind the scenes fact. I've been working on, it is Saturday right now, and I started working on this video yesterday morning. It's been a pain. Before I started working on this one, I just relaunched a couple Salmonella videos, because despite having like a 1-hour video about him, I have not seen a video by his in months. And they're good. After I get done making this video, I will definitely rewatch his whole catalog again. I've been needing to do that for a while. Either way, back to talking about Gustav's show. Pretty bad, 4 out of 10. Moving on. Shielded Explains is terrible, and I would go into why he's terrible, but I think I can explain exactly how he's this bad by just showing you a little clip.
Number 9. You knew too much. Back in those days, if you were a woman who seemed a little too smart for your own good, people started to get suspicious.
Now, I may be wrong. I may be wrong, but just guessing by how monotone the voice is in this, I'm not be surprised if this voice is artificial intelligence, being another fake AI script salmonella clone, which are obviously very lazy. And to be honest, I think this is the worst one yet. This combines everything I hate about the salmonella clone. Their horrible art, their lazy writing, their lazy humor, them being unfunny, and them not being creative. It just amalgamates into everything, especially being written with AI. They couldn't even care to write their own scripts, which really even asks the question, why are you doing this? Do something you enjoy. Either way, this is the worst one so far. Animated Lifelines was horrible, but like, thinking back, they're so bad it's good. This is just so bad, it's bad. Worst one so far. If anything can get worse than this, I'm actually going to be surprised. Bottom of the list. I'm covering 17 channels, and since 17 is an odd number, I decided I'd pick after 9 channels. This would be the halfway point. Just want to say I'm surprised at how good some of these channels are and how bad some of these channels are. I was expecting lazy content. Lazy content that just is the average Sam channel that recycles the same 5 things, isn't funny, isn't creative. I was expecting that. But I was not expecting them to get so lazy where they'd use AI. I wasn't also expecting them to get so lazy where they make Sam's art look like it should be hung up in the Louvre. I was not expecting, on the other hand, that some channels were actually quite not knockoffs. They were inspired by Sam, which, as I said earlier, and I want to say again, there's a difference from being inspired and being a clone of something. Being inspired means you take something of it, but make it your own, mix it with something else, and make a new, genuine, different product. Like, for example, Chat History, which I talked about earlier, my favorite one out of these so far is that he took Sam's idea and made his own thing, added his own comedy, added his own editing style. He made a different viewer experience compared to all of these that just are clones, actually. I thought I'd just bring that up and talk about how I'm feeling so far. I've watched non-stop Salmonella clones for the past 2 days. I'm literally, like, not doing well, but we only got, like, let's see, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, like 7 left, so that's good, I guess. Or 8, actually. Please tell me why these Salmonella clones are so infatuated with medieval torture methods. JR Research's entire videography, or discography, whatever you want to call it, is just medieval torture videos. That's it. That's the only thing he makes videos about. And it ain't like Sam did this. He had like one video about medieval weapons, and he talked about Princess Olga and like her like weird way of treating criminals. But that ain't really this. Every single clone channel does this. Like I said, he does. He's made basically the same video 25 times. It's crazy. His animation's also pretty trash, but that's kind of expected for this. I don't really know that much else to say. We only got 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 7 more after this. I'm going to quit for today and wake up tomorrow and finish this off. This is a lot worse than I expected. Moving on. When I first looked at this channel, I was like, didn't I already look at this one? And the answer is yes, but really no. These channels are like exactly the same. They recycle the same 5 subjects, and Keleven is just another channel that does that. Let's just say every Salmonella clone, we'll just put a checkbox here to see what Keleven does. Unnecessary gory thumbnails, which by the way, I have no clue why these clones do that. Sam didn't do that at all, or very, very rarely, so I don't know why they do it in their thumbnails in every video. 2, recycling the same 5 subjects. He does that. He has like 20 videos, and they're all mainly about the same 6 things. 3, making stickman art. That does really the same thing that Sam does. Check. Having like 40 million videos about historical misconceptions or facts that mess with your perception of time. Check. He's the perfect clone. He does everything that all of them do. He does not stand out at all. It actually makes me want to ask the question, why is he even doing this? Keleven is not a bad channel. As I'm fed up after watching like 11 of these. I'm giving him a 3 out of 10. A shallow dive is far from good, but he's not bad either. He's the perfect definition of being mid. Out of all of these so far, he's the closest to matching Sam's humor, which is somehow impossible for all these clone channels. And actually has better creative ideas that aren't just facts that'll mess with your perception of time or medieval torture methods. He actually does creative ideas, like his what's the video I just watched? Animals on Trial video. It was actually pretty funny, kind of interesting too. His art style is very poorly drawn, but I think that was on purpose. And like in Sam's videos, that adds to the comedy. It's really salmonella at home, and even though I don't really care to watch this channel ever again, I can at least say there was some passion put into it, and that's far more I can say about a lot of these channels. Shallow Dive is alright. Well, I'm going to assume that most of you watching this video are fans of salmonella. I'm just going to ask you one question. What makes Sam stick out? What makes you attracted to his channel? It might be the information aspect or the comedy aspect, but the charm to it is a major thing. The crudely drawn drawings add a certain charm to it that most of these channels just lack. Especially this one. Trust me, bro, is too polished, too safe, too just like basic and corporate to like really have any charm or stick outness to it. You can get the same thing from just watching really any low tier fact channel online, sadly. It's just too polished, too clean, which I mean, good for them, I guess, but like, you took salmonella and removed all the fun out of it. Props to you. I'm joking, of course. Trust me, bro, is another bad channel to add to the pile. You already get the gist. 4 out of 10. Easy actually isn't really even a clone, actually. It's just a stick figure channel. He is inspired by Sam, but not really. Also, he has a really different art style. Instead of being a white background, it's a black background, which is easy on the eyes. Really creative, I like that. Most of the time, he's just doing how-to videos with a sprinkle of dry humor. His videos aren't that bad. I watched a few of them, and they weren't terrible. Pretty good. His trolley problem video is probably the best one I saw, though. Just sprinkled dry humor and discussing why we think certain things, for it to all just lead up to a great bash at Henry Kissinger. Good video. Good channel. 8 out of 10.
I think it would be pretty ironic to get the Nobel Peace Prize by causing needless death.
Good enough is really your by the books, basic salmonella clone, needlessly gory thumbnails, unfunny humor, same 5 subjects taught, a very horrible understanding of history. It's all there, except the art in this is like unnecessarily horrible. Like, look at it. It's an eyesore. I hate it. I don't know, like, if this is done on purpose or if he's that bad at drawing, or if the guy running it's like 10 years old and thinks shock humor is still funny. I don't know. 3 out of 10 channel. It's pretty horrible. I know these reviews are getting real shorter, but we only got like 2 channels left, and I want to get this video done with as soon as possible. This one was deleted, but I wanted to talk about it anyway. If any of you all can remember, about like July of 2022, there was this channel that was like called Salmonella University or something like that. That was an AI channel, but they took Sam's voice and made a like Gombe chimpanzee war video about it. It wasn't really that good because it was like 2022 and Sam's and AI was very much in its infancy, so it sounded like trash. and it just wasn't funny. They couldn't really match Sam's humor all that well, and they just used frames from older videos. It was kind of sad at how poor quality it is, but it's also show the effects of Sam being gone for 2 years had on his fan base. Nowadays, when you search up Salmonella AI, all you get is a couple AI covers, which I'll show right here because they're really creative and kind of funny. Salmonella singing From the Start.
Don't you notice how I get quiet when there's no one else around?
And Sam's cover of Let It Go as well.
The wind is howling like this swirling storm inside. Couldn't keep it in, heaven knows I could try. Don't let them in, don't let them see. Be the good girl you always have to be. Conceal, don't feel, don't let them know. Well, now that you know, let it go.
Really high art we're working with here, I know. But back to talking about the original Salmonella University. It was a creative idea, and it was really the first idea of its kind. I think it actually predates all the clone channels, actually. So yeah, I'm giving that one a 6 for creativity, even though it turned out to be pretty bad. Here we go, the last channel that we're going to be talking about today, and I wanted to save this one for last because 1, I think it's unfair to call this a clone, and 2, this is definitely the best one out of the 17. Giving it a 9 out of 10, just going to throw that out there. BlueJay is an excellent channel. Originally, when I first discovered him, like in 2021, I thought he was a clone and just brushed it off as that. But then I actually watched his content, realized it's a lot different. He's been making content since 2019, and it's inspired by Sam, of course, but he has his own comedy and its own design. I'll put some on screen, it looks a lot different. When Sam was gone, this was like the best anecdote, because his videos are different, but they remind me a lot of Sam, and they're just good. I'm actually subscribed to the guy. He's a good channel. I recommend you check him out if you're into Sam. At the end of my Salmonella ranking I did 2 years ago, as me recording this, which is July 1st, I actually started working on that ranking video 2 years ago today, fun fact. But either way, in my Salmonella ranking video, I said check him out if you're a fan of him. They have similar humor. Just check out that video near the end of it. I do a bigger thing on BlueJay than I do now. But yeah, BlueJay is a good channel. It's really funny. He's not taking stuff from Sam. He's inspired by a lot of things too. But he has his own dash creativity in it, which is what all these channels lack. This is the perfect Salmonella clone, which is rude to call him that, actually. He does his own thing, but was inspired by Sam. Everybody who I talked down to in this video should look up to him. This is how you do it. At the beginning of this, I said I'd rank all the clones, so let's do that now. I'll have a little thing at the bottom, rating my score out of 10. The number, that'll be on the right-hand side. On the left-hand side, there'll be my number, like, in all the places. There. Now let's begin. Here we go. At the bottom, the worst one by a long shot, Chill Dude Explains, Animated Lifelines, JR Research, Good Enough, Keleven, Serious History, Trust Me Bro, Stoic Stick, Gustav's Show, A Shallow Dive, Bolo Ackerman, Salmonella University, Sigmund Oppenbaum, Jake Farm, Easy Actually, Chat History, and BlueJay. This wasn't really fun. I was not expecting it to be fun, but it was worse. Like, I was expecting lazy content. And even though I've said this a couple times, a channel that I'm actually subscribed to, let's be positive for once in this video, Hugbee's great channel, probably the greatest channel on YouTube at the moment. His videos are full of charm, they're funny, I love them. But he just posted this picture on his community post, and I think this is what he means by that, or what I mean by this. I don't care if it's unoriginal. I realize that not everything has already been done before. I am very much aware of that. But just taking it and doing something, but not adding your original spin on it, or being you and just doing something to try and get views, is where I think it's just lazy content. And that's really my problem with all of these. That's where all of it lays, to be honest. And that's all I really want to say here. Besides, like, the top 3, all the other channels are pretty bad. Especially, like, the bottom 10. So, yeah. Don't want to do this again. All I want to say, this is probably the last video I'll ever make about Sam. On the 2-year anniversary of my ranking video, I may review all of his new videos since I've posted that. I don't know. Maybe I will. Maybe I won't. Who knows and who cares?
Provoke, I don't mean to curse, but like my portfolio, I keep my language diverse. I got a sour face, cause my tongue is so acidic. I got Jehovah's grace, who'd have guessed I was Hasidic? The art of day trading's like a keyboard to my eyes, cause whenever there's a shift, I can capitalize. What you make in your life, I handle more in a day. All you do is sit and age like your 401k. My wife is 49.